Hello, my name is Steve Butler and I teach 7th grade geography at Carvers Bay Middle School in Hemingway, South Carolina. Hemingway, South Carolina is the location in which I conducted my field experience project. And this field experience project was one in which I gave a presentation alongside my colleague, Miss Lewis, who teaches 6th grade social studies, at the South Carolina Council for the Social Studies Conference that was held in Hilton Head. The basis of this presentation was the data that was collected from 3 separate projects in the classroom. And the purpose of these projects was to see how to best integrate digital technology into traditional methods. The first project was a travel brochure, and on this travel brochure, students were given a location to research, and they then cataloged push and pull factors, different places to visit, and other areas of interest at that location. I consulted Miss Lewis, the curriculum coach Miss Brown, and Miss Frazier, our principal, before and after this project. After this project, we came to realize that middle school students do have a difficult time with time management, as well as we realized they weren't as familiar with Canva as we once believed. So we thought it would be best to revert back to a more traditional model with the dodecahedron project. The dodecahedron project was a 3D model that the students built. 11 of the 12 faces of the dodecahedron were ones in which they colored and drew and wrote down information. This information were resources, push and pull factors, population pyramids. They drew an outline of their country's natural borders and their political borders. They drew the flag. They colored these items, and the 12th face was the QR code that was created from the link of a Flipgrid video. And this Flipgrid video was merely a reflective video to get them acclimated and comfortable to using Flipgrid. This was a very successful project in our eyes because it renewed the enthusiasm in the classroom of the students. This renewed enthusiasm came from our hanging these 3D models from the ceiling like Christmas ornaments. And so they not only saw their work, they were able to see the work of their peers, and they were truly interested and taken back by all the great projects that were submitted. These projects were also submitted in time for curriculum night, and so parents reinforced their enthusiasm when they got home. This enthusiasm carried over to our last project, which was a travel poster. This travel poster was again built in Canva, and we believed that once we had Canva introduced again, they had had enough familiarity with it through their other classroom experiences, namely in English and science, to make them familiar enough to where they wouldn't lose time and have a time management issue using the platform. This time they had a Flipgrid video in which they created a travel commercial that was converted into a QR code, as well as a QR code was created from a virtual field trip that they built in Google Earth. Once they completed these items, the students then took their travel poster and assembled them in Canva, and we printed them out. And after we printed them out, the students were then able to have a gallery walk based on the research they conducted. And so students could go, scan the QR code, and see all the different things that were going on in these countries. We measure success for this by the enthusiasm that students had for learning, the enthusiasm it generated in the house, as well as the overall success of the projects that were created. We don't believe that this will be the end of this project. I know that we will certainly revisit this and look for new ways to implement technology in the classroom, better ways to refine these projects, and meet the needs of our learners based on the data that it produces.